Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of Moggycraft, and right now I am just AFK at the lava farm. I have been AFK here for just a few seconds at this point because I've mostly been AFK at the wood farm, also letting the moss farm go quite a bit, and now I'm just collecting a bit of the lava that has been sitting here. So you can see that there have been quite a few cauldrons already coming by, and you can see as well that there are actually a couple more that have been filled to the brim with lava. So I'm just going to collect those real quick before we get on with this episode. And what I plan on doing is a good question, but I only have like, I don't know, 24 hours or something to record this video, so I hope this actually gets done in time. And as you can see, we now have quite a bit of lava. Not sure what I'm going to use it for, but if I find something, I'll definitely use it, of course. And let's actually put these buckets back into here. Let's actually take one bucket for ourselves, fill it with water, and let's move on to what I have in mind for today. Even though we started at the farming zone, I am back at my base right now. And as you saw, I did collect quite a bit of wood. This is not all, this is just 4 stacks. I think we have quite a few double chests full now. But what I want to do is actually create some hoppers, because I want to finish up some stuff. And one thing I've been working on in my base is actually connecting these up to the main storage. So let's actually go down below, and you can see that this hopper line has just been put in. An item elevator going all the way up to these hoppers and of course into these chests. Let's turn it on because I think we should start filling up those chests as well. And I have still actually some chests over here. Okay, so they're empty. That's nice, because now I can take them with me. And let's actually turn this on. And we can see that it is actually working. We just saw some items come by. There go some more. It does take a while for the items to go from all the way over there, over here of course, because they go through quite a few hoppers. And I'm thinking I should probably put a light somewhere here, but even if a zombie or a creeper spawns, no big deal, because this really is an area that is not really meant to be seen. So doesn't really matter. Anyway, let's take this scaffolding, and I do still have my shulker boxes over here with a bunch of hoppers and other redstone components that we'll need to actually hook up the other ones. So let's go over to here, and you can see I've already done a little bit. A couple of hoppers are in place, but we should definitely bring it all the way over there and hook it up to the kelp farm. While working below this farm, I actually noticed that a lot of kelp was still stuck and not really floating to the top. Now you see it does, and one trick that actually fixed it are just a few stair blocks. So we have stairs over here, here and here, just so it can actually refill the water sources, because most of the time these pistons would just push those sources away. Because the kelp grows, it stays here, and then it just gets pushed away again, which maybe over here is not such a big deal, but over here it did cause a few issues, and definitely over here as well. So now we should see all the kelp go to the top. I don't see any kelp. Okay, I do see some over here. I'm sure they'll make their way up soon, because, well, the water will eventually all go up, hopefully. Anyway, let's go down and let's actually continue working over here. I have put in the hopper line, and I should probably make this look slightly better, but now we can work on the item elevator. So we just have 2 hopper lines going like this, one over here, one over there. Then we have a hopper over here, and of course a hopper over here. And just make this like this, so that we can have water going across these blocks. And we need to see where the water goes exactly. So from this block, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So on this block, we can remove this and put in some ice. Alright, and then from this block, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then this one can be the fire. Alright. So we do have one source of water. I know there's water over there that I can just grab, but let's quickly see if I counted correctly. Which I did. My counting is still as good as I hoped it would be. Being able to count till 8 is of course a very challenging skill, so I'm glad I finally mastered it after about 25 years. Next up, we'll place a hopper facing up over here, and then we can climb up and put in the second water source right above it. So over here. Now let's actually remove this glass block for a moment. We're gonna have to place it back later on. Grab our kelp and just fill this with water sources. So we can do that by just placing another kelp and we'll turn it all into water sources. Then what we can do is put one soul sand block on top of the dropper and it will shoot us right up. Let's put in that glass block again so not all the items spit out like a fountain. And we can place in the blocks that make this possible. And I just realized we actually don't need the item filters over here. So that's actually going to help me quite a bit. We did need them on the other sides because of course we have other blocks coming in there. But here it's just the kelp. So that's gonna be quite easy. So this is where it gets quite easy with the redstone, at least for me because I've done this quite a few times. So we have comparator going out from this block into stone bricks or any kind of full block really. Let's actually make this shape. Okay. And one thing that is actually important is that we replace this one with a full block. So not a glass block, full block. So if we have this set up, no block over here, we can put redstone on top of this block, underneath this block, next to the comparator, and then a repeater going into that last bit of redstone. And that makes the entire item elevator, and it goes all the way across. And hopefully this will fill up quite soon. And now this is done, so we can delete the scaffolding and let's actually move on to the next bit. But here it is going to be quite different, seeing as we have 10 different lines of hoppers and we have 16 colors. So normally I would say let's separate them all individually. So the white, black, gray, green, lime, and so on. But because we have 16, we have 6 more than we actually can fit. So it's probably just gonna be all just in a bunch of chests, and I'm just gonna have to learn to be fine with that. This is frustrating, but it's what I did. So I'm gonna have to live with that. So I just need to add in the redstone for the hopper, but I did do something slightly different, and that is that now it actually goes over every single hopper over here. And that's because we'll have a lot of wool coming in, and well, this doesn't really need an item sorter, so I could have technically done the same thing with the kelp one, but for some reason I didn't. I did it over here, and now let's actually do that again. So real quick, in case you want to see it happening again, we just need a comparator. I know my inventory is an absolute mess right now. Alright, so the comparator coming out of the dropper, into a block with redstone on top, behind, block on top of this piece of redstone, and next to it, then a repeater coming out of the block and redstone dust, and we'll see the wool being shut up and into the hoppers they go. And at this point, this will start filling itself. Of course, these have already been in place for a while now, and hopefully this will all work perfectly fine. I still need to put some blocks over there just to make sure no items get lost. But I think that's it. Let's actually go up from over here and probably take a nap soon. Let's see. We do have the shulker box with me, so I can place down some blocks starting over here. And let's put some glass over here. Done. Now everything will go through this tube, and think I actually picked that one up, but never mind. It should work now. And let's grab this scaffolding. And there's one more thing I have to do, and that is actually put composters on every single hopper that is not, underneath the farm. So, all of these. That's gonna be a lot of composters. And I know just where I can get the wool. Of course, it's in the farming zone, so we can fly there. But first, maybe clean up my inventory just a little bit. Now with this project done, I think we can shift our focus to something that has been quite forgotten about. I mean, not forgotten, more like neglected. This and this, they need to be turned into trees. And I do have quite a few resources, of course, that will help me transform these two into beautiful trees. So I think I should start doing that. And of course, we're going to need to start with some branches. So need to get plenty of wood and just climb up here. I mean, it's a work in progress for sure. It's definitely going places, and I think it will look good once I get the leaves in as well, and of course do every single side, not just these few branches. What I think I can do as well is maybe put a branch underneath there, and maybe one just below this one as well, like maybe somewhere over there. I think that will be good, and maybe I actually should remove that block over there, because it now kind of looks maybe a bit too bulky. Let's see if this will do good. And yes, it looks good. Alright. And with all the branches in place right now, we can finally start on the leaves. Just like that, this tree is now fully done. It's not my favorite one from the bunch, but it will do. And I've also completed this tree over here, which actually turned out better than I thought it would, seeing as I had a really weird shape to deal with. Like, we had this giant branch going out over here. Like, what do you even do with that? Well, I managed to do stuff with it, and I think it looks pretty nice now. And we can work on the last bit of the base. But this is going to take quite a while, seeing as we have 2 floors to do. This already took quite a long time, and I just need to make this look overgrown and do the same thing on the top. So while we do that, let's actually have a bit of a chat. So let's talk about the upcoming update, Minecraft 1.20. It should arrive in like 2 days from now, I believe. It comes out on the 7th, and I think this video comes out on the 5th. So just a couple more days, and we already know what is going to be included. Of course, we'll have the cherry blossoms, which, I mean, I've kind of built one myself already. It's kind of out there somewhere. I cannot show it right now. But, yep, I'm looking forward to those trees being added. They look very nice. I'm sure Sunshow is going to love building with those. That's for sure. And that begs the question, what do we do with 1.20 when it comes to Moggycraft? Well, let me answer first a different question. What will happen with Moggy Caves? Of course, I'm just going to update that world, and with 1.20, I'm gonna be doing a lot of stuff. Gonna be adding a lot of things, and you best believe that I'm excited to get that world upgraded to the next version. As for Moggycraft, however, I am actually thinking of ending this series. That doesn't mean that there won't be a Moggycraft 2. It just means that this world is coming to an end. And that's also the reason I have been working kind of hard on my base for the past, well, few weeks really. Maybe at the end of this episode, I'll actually show you what I have done already before I even started recording this episode or the previous one. But yes, I think this world is gonna be done with soon. Of course, I don't want to leave any projects unfinished. I do want to keep building on, and of course I'm not gonna stop playing Minecraft just because there's a new version. Um, but you'll see what my plans are soon enough, I believe, with Moggycraft, hopefully a season 2, and maybe potentially some new members. Hopefully. I am still in the talks about it, of course, but it's looking pretty good. And in case you wanted to know my personal opinions about the features from 1.20, let's just quickly go over them. So the first one we have is the feature of archaeology, which, I mean, that's interesting, I guess. I personally don't think I'll be doing too much with it. I'll probably do it, of course, because I want to get like specific items, such as the armor trins and the sniffer egg. Um, and when it comes to those items, like the armor trims, I think they look quite nice, but honestly, I don't care too much for them. Even though they look good, um, and I'm sure I'm going to be collecting and putting them on my armor as well. I just, no, I'm not gonna go out and hunt for them specifically, unless I make it a challenge for myself to find as many as I can. And well, actually, if we have a Moggycraft Season 2, we can have shops as well, and I can just sell the armor trims. Hey, I'm already thinking financially. How smart of me. As for the Sniffer, I quite like the mob. It's not the one I voted for during the Minecon live stream update, but yeah, it was a nice one as well. I personally voted for like that statue looking dude, which I quite like because of course I use armor stands to do most of that stuff, but it would also be funny to just have a guide who walks around and actually carries that stuff for you. Not sure how he would have worked, too bad he's not in the game, but I am not too upset about it. The Sniffer, pretty cool mob, very very big, that's probably very obvious, but yep, not gonna be too upset about the Sniffer winning, especially because the flowers do look quite good. And we all know that one person on the server who loves to collect flowers, so definitely going to have to help her out at one point, getting sniffers and getting all the different type of flowers, I imagine, which will also be fun, of course. Next up is the bamboo blocks, and I mean, what took them so long adding those in, right? I mean, they look pretty nice, and I'm not going to complain about more blocks that can be used as decorative or for building. I quite like them, especially because I do enjoy building, and I'm going to have to see where exactly I can use them in Moggy Caves, and I'll probably make some type of house for it in one of the themes. Maybe in the love theme it could fit. Not quite sure because I have already designed quite a bit in advance, even though I'm quite far behind on the building of the caves themselves. But yep, it should look pretty good when those blocks come out because I can finally start using them. Just like the cherry blossom stuff, I am definitely going to be using those. Definitely in the love theme, of course. I mean, how could I not add such pink blocks into that theme? I've already talked a bit about the sniffer, but there's one more mob coming to Minecraft, and that is the camel. And I think they look absolutely hilarious. I love them, and I'm sure that on Moggycraft we're going to have camels as well. And not sure how I'm going to use them in Moggy Caves, but well, they're nice. And especially because you can ride them with two people, that's going to be a lot of fun exploring. And then there's just a bunch of bugs that are being squashed. So for example, the nether portal one. You know how every time you exit the nether portal you still have that like nausea animation going on? That's apparently a bug, not a feature. I thought it was a feature. And they are fixing that, but what should really be a feature and is actually seen as a bug. So here we have a jack-o'-lantern. You can even see Minecraft jack-o'-lantern. You can place it down. You see it gives light. Yeah, one bug is being squashed with this fellow over here. And that is that you can put it on your head right now. Even though this does not make sense, I like it. Why do they have to remove this? This is fun. It's useless, but it's fun. You should be able to put more blocks on your head, honestly. Like shulker box? Yes, please. Anyway, those were my thoughts on the upcoming update. And I hope you enjoyed listening to them. If you didn't care, then well, I hope at least you enjoyed watching me build this. It is almost coming to completion. I am just looking for some more stuff. Let's see. We of course want to bone meal the grass quite a bit. We can leave the flowers in there. It's fine, I think. I don't know if I actually left the flowers in here. Doesn't look like it. Okay, so I should actually remove them. Yeah, it doesn't really fit with the colors either. But it's okay. And I'll actually keep this going all the way around. And I'll be back for the outro. And it's finally done. It now goes all the way around. And of course, both layers have been fully completed. So we also have this side. Now let's go on to this side. And of course, the front. The lower layer had already been done, but now this is also completed. So with that, I think it is time to end today's episode. And we'll see when exactly we get to actually finishing this base, but it sure is very close right now to completely being done. Anyway, you know what to do. See you next time. Bye bye.